Hi, this is Arnold Mangioli for Grateful, Ready, Open, Willing, and I'm still in Barcelona and outside of the Sagrada Familia, Antoni Gaudi's masterpiece. And it's taken my breath away a little bit. Yeah, you can see the designs that he launched over 100 years ago. He spent the last 14 years of his life working on this building, and he lived in the crypt while he was working on it, and he is buried in the crypt of this building even today. And he left instructions and designs for how it would go, and so many other artists and architects have worked on it since over 100 years, and decades in between architectural styles. So you see how the original is so different than the additions over the last 30 years and even what's happening currently, you know? Absolutely remarkable. It's such a controversial building because people want to know why the really beautiful mosaic and colors are way up at the top. And of course, the theory is something to the effect of, well, you know, that's because as you get closer to God, it gets more beautiful, and the 12 spires represent the 12 apostles, and the white ones represent Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the evangelists, etc. There's so many symbolisms in it, and you can like that and you cannot like it, but it is amazing that it is still going on. Now, those of us who work in the theater know many stories, perhaps, of producers who, you know, the show kind of pays back the investors when it recoups, and everybody gets a bump and an increase, including casting directors, when the show recoups, and how somehow shows never actually recoup, almost never. So I think we're all familiar with this business model where, for example, Gaudi had left very specific instructions that once the church was completed, it would be free. And 100 years later, it's not complete. But they are charging 26 euros to get in to see the inside, which is magnificent because the stained glass creates color patterns in the cathedral that are magnificent. But 100 years later, like last year, it was 26 euros per person, and it was 5 million visitors over the course of the year. So it ain't nothing, and I guess when it's completed, when it recoups, it will be free. In the meanwhile, something to celebrate is the longevity of art, the beauty of art, the magnificence of what art is and what it can become, the fractals, the spires, the symbolism, the beauty of just making art. This is Arnold Mangioli for Grateful, Ready, Open, Willing. Make art.